Hello, and welcome to the Mountain Mystic Podcast. I'm your host, Katie Hemphill, and as always, I am so happy to be here with you today for another episode. This is an episode that finds us in December 2025, another ending of yet another year. I love recording this time of year that brings us towards the winter solstice. As I record this, we have this Sagittarius New Moon coming up in just a couple days, and the winter solstice just a few days later, which will be followed by Christmas and the New Year. This is a time of year that is packed with so much happening, and honestly, it's a weird time of year. It is a weird time of year because our world is just not in tune with natural rhythms, is it? We have this time of year, the winter solstice. Winter, it is the time of slowing down, of going inward, of having more of those sacred conversations, whether it's with self, whether it's with friends. This is a powerful time of year to really lean into that soul level guidance, those soulful conversations, those soulful practices. Alas, it's a time of year where society has us being so busy. Travel, work, the holidays. It's a busy time of year. And that busyness is so out of alignment with the true energies of this time of year. So if you're someone who totally leans in to the busyness, the outward energy, the communal energy, that's awesome. I love it for you. You're probably not someone who's listening to my podcast, or maybe you are. Maybe you are. If you are, send me an email. Let me know. Let me know it's clicking for you, because for me over here, and I know so many others who really have trouble this time of year, because again, this is a time of year that is about going inward, slowing down, having those soulful conversations, again, whether they're with close friends and family members, loved ones, or whether it's simply with self. And that's what I have for you today. Today, what I have for you is actually a practice. This is an episode that I bring you really to bring you a practice. It's a practice I've already recorded. I love this practice. I love this practice so much, mostly because as a 7x Sagittarius, we are in the time of year that resonates so deeply with me. Yes, I'm a 7x Sagittarius. I say that meaning that not only is my main sign in Sagittarius, my sun sign that is, but my rising sign, my moon, my north node, and 3 planets are all in Sagittarius. Yes, the stars aligned when I came into this world to make me a full-blooded Sagittarius. So when we're in Sagittarius season, and we're moving towards the Sagittarius new moon, I just vibrate with its frequency. And while many people know Sagittarius to be a very outward, expressive sign, right? Sagittarius is the fire arrow shooting off in the ethers. And many a Sagittarius, like myself, becomes that fire arrow shooting off in all the different directions, right? My mind and my heart light up with all the things I want to do this world, right? I want to be trail running, running mountains, rock climbing, writing, teaching, meditating, doing all the things. The true power of Sagittarius, and this is one of the things that I want to bring you with this episode and with this practice, is the deeper power of Sagittarius. What few people actually realize is that, yes, Sagittarius is that fire arrow, that adventurous spirit going off in all the different directions, pursuing life in all its glory. More than this, Sagittarius is a centaur. It is a man with the body of a horse that wields the bow that shoots that arrow. And if you want to fully embody Sagittarius, you best go far deeper than just that arrow shooting through the ethers. But you want to take a journey into that full centaur so you can embody that full centaur. And in doing so, discover that grounding energy. Sagittarius is a fire sign, but it's one that simultaneously invites us to find that grounding, that embodiment that is everything that I teach to you, whether it's on this podcast or any space I'm showing up in. What we're doing here is embodiment. It's about grounding and alignment so that we can be discerning, so that when it comes time to fully embody that fire arrow and go soaring in whatever direction it is you choose, that this is a conscious choice, that it's coming from a grounded, present, and aware space. It's coming from a source of wisdom. This is what we are here to embody. So as we're here moving towards the Sagittarius New Moon and the Winter Solstice and the holiday season, this is just one of the energies that I am inviting you into. And we're going to do this in a practice coming up real soon. Before we get there, though, I want to take a few moments to sort of orient ourselves where we are in this show right now, the Mountain Mystic podcast, but also on the greater platforms that I'm coming to you from. So first things first, yes, it's been a minute since I've delivered a podcast episode to you. I have taken a step back away from podcasting so that I can focus my efforts elsewhere on writing, on membership, on circle. As I've been doing this, I've really been holding our podcast in a space of really asking, what is the best sort of content that I can bring to you here? Now, I have answers, and those answers have to do with a whole plan for 2026, a plan that involves bringing guests finally onto the show. I know, we're 2+ years in and I haven't had a guest yet. There's a reason for this. I've really been relying on this podcast as a space for my own voice to come through to help sort of shape what it is we're doing here. That being said, what I have been doing the past many months is doing a lot of work to organize all of the content, being the teachings and the practices, into a coherent form that I call the embodied path. The embodied path is an organized way for me to teach the embodied spirituality that I have come to know. It is not new. It is what I've been teaching all along. What is new is that coming in 2026, it's going to be coming to you in a new way. I have a new name for a new organization with a new business, a fresh start in a way that's going to be more organized, more aligned with everything we're doing here. Stay tuned for more details on that. And the best way to do that is to make sure that you are subscribed to this podcast, but also to the newsletter, the Mountain Mystic newsletter. You can subscribe to that at upwardslopes.com. When you do so, you'll get a free guided meditation. There's actually a whole list of free guided meditations that you can get on the website, and those will subscribe you to the newsletter once again, so that you're in the know. You're in the know. You are all geared up to receive all the teachings, all the practices that are coming your way in 2026. A couple more items here. I do want to take a moment to invite you into Circle. If you are not in Circle with me right now, I want to know why. It is currently free, open to all, which is an amazing gift. I know very few people, if any, who have this sort of opportunity that is free, right? All you need to do is reach out to me, let me know that you want to join us in Circle. This is our space where we get to be together and practice. It is the space that, in my opinion, and I think the opinion of others, I bring through the most powerful practices. I know this because when we're in Circle, everybody gets to share if they want to. And what I keep hearing over and over and over is how powerful these practices are. They blow me away because I don't plan them out. I simply open up and invite them to come through me, and they continue to amaze me and the others in Circle. This Circle is a space that we get to be in practice for ourselves and for the world outside of self. This is how New Earth Embodiment works. It is about going inward so that we can connect with the whole that expands outward. Because we aren't isolated from the web of life, we are part of the web of life. We are part of this planet Earth. And this Circle is one space where we get to explore that. We get to explore it in a way that is healing and transformative for self and for this planet, through the work in the world that we're doing, but also through our pure vibration, all the magic and mystery that's here. One other thing, there's another way that you can go deeper with me in practice, and that's by joining the Forest Membership Library. This is a space where when you sign up, which you can do for as little as $7 a month, you get immediate access to so many practices. It's a whole library, you guys, a whole library of practices. And I'm adding several practices to it every month. It's a beautiful space where you can go deep into this work with me. Okay, so you can do that at upwardslopes.com/forest membership. All right, let's get back to the episode and get into this powerful practice that I've recorded for you. So coming up here shortly, I'm going to invite you into this practice. And when I do, I invite you to do this practice at a time where you can really sit in quiet in a space that you're not going to be interrupted. It is a practice for going deep. So I don't invite you to do this practice while you're driving or otherwise occupied. This is really a practice for closing that door, making sure you're not going to be interrupted, going inward, deep inward. That's what this practice is for. And that's really all I have for you right now. I'm inviting you to find that space where you can get settled in, where you're not going to be interrupted. I'll have more words for you on the far side of this practice. But for now, inviting you into that practice space so you can enjoy this beautiful, powerful journey inward to commune with your deepest, most soulful self. Let's get started with this practice by finding a comfortable, preferably seated position. This practice can be done laying down if that feels right for you in this moment, but preferably a comfortable seated position, perhaps with your back supported so that you can be upright yet still relaxed. And as we get started here, I'm going to share a few words to give us some context to set the stage for this practice. But as we do, I invite you to take this time to settle, to do so by taking some long, slow, full, deep breaths. So inviting in breath in a way that drops you down out of your head and down into your body. Perhaps you bring your awareness via your breath into your chest, into your lungs, into your heart space, whatever word resonates for you there. And perhaps with each breath, you drop in a little bit deeper down through your diaphragm, down into your abdomen. But let this process take some time. So with each deep, slow breath, inviting in a deepening, a descending down into self, down into your body. This is breath that is guiding you out of your head, down out of your head, and down into your body. This is an embodiment meditation. And as you continue this breath, as I promised, I'm going to share a few words here about this meditation. This meditation is one for deepening as you connect with your inner truth, with your inner guidance, with your soul, with your truth. And as I've learned, because I've experienced it for myself, this type of guidance, this type of truth, this type of alignment, this soul level truth, it does not exist in the realm up in our heads, up in our normal waking consciousness. It exists deep within, can only fully be accessed as we take this journey deep inward. Now, I want to share a few more words about the time of this recording. I'm recording this in December of 2025 as I approach the Sagittarius New Moon, the new moon being a dark moon, a time for going within, of turning our attention towards void, towards darkness, not in a scary way, but in a way where we speak to the absence of light. Again, that high level, exciting, big energy that takes up most of our waking consciousness. We are moving down beyond that, deep into self, into that space of void, that darkness. This is where we get to access that soul, that truth. And I'm speaking to the Sagittarius New Moon. And again, it doesn't matter whether you are listening to this at the time I am recording this or later on, what we are working with here is this pure energy of Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a sign that most people think of as outward expression, as adventurous spirit. And while it is this, more so, what the sign of Sagittarius asks us to do and shows us how to do if we are willing to lean in. Sagittarius guides us into that soul level alignment. It guides us into an embodied form of that soul fire, that truth fire. Because Sagittarius knows it is only from this deeply aligned and in tune space that we can then become that fire arrow that is well known as the sign of Sagittarius, that fire arrow shooting off through the ethers in all the directions we are guided, going on those adventures, exploring, receiving the joy and all the gifts that it means to live here on this planet Earth. We get to receive this, but without giving ourselves the time to slow down, to listen inward to that soul level truth, that inner fire, that soul fire. Without this step, then we find ourselves bouncing around in life, being pulled into one thing after the next. And while it may bring short-term level joys and dopamine hits, we don't experience that soul level fulfillment that we are here to experience. So this is the first piece, this Sagittarius New Moon energy, the new moon, the dark moon, that leads us inward, deep into self. This is the space from which we can close ourselves off from all that chaotic energy that the world exists in. We can go inward and spend time directly with self, soul level self. This Sagittarius energy guiding us deep inward to this embodied soul fire, listening from this space. So the next piece I want to speak to is right after the Sagittarius New Moon this year, we enter into the Winter Solstice. The Winter Solstice, the shortest day, the longest night, this time of peak darkness in our world. Darkness, again, not as a bad thing, not as an evil thing, simply as the absence of light. Darkness as the absence of light. Light, again, being that high-level conscious energy, which, yes, is beautiful and amazing and brings light to life. But when we live only in the light, when we live only in the light, we lose out on half of what we are here to experience. So here, as I'm recording this in this energy, sharing it with you today so that you can receive it, whether you are in the same energy as I am or not. This winter solstice energy, this time of peak darkness, this time that guides you deep inward into your own darkness. This beautiful space where you can tune into the wisdom and the guidance that is here for you. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take this journey inward today. Continuing with those deep breaths within. Maybe you've lost them, maybe you've stuck with them. Wherever you are, returning to those deep, grounding breaths, guiding you deep within. Inviting you to bring more consciousness to these deep, grounding breaths, no matter where you are. Maybe you're up in your heart or your lungs or your chest. Maybe you've descended down through your diaphragm and you're down in your guts. Maybe you've made it to your womb. Wherever you are, an invitation with your next breath to deepen even further. We're going to take a few more deep, conscious breaths together, holding the intention here to deepen even further, deepening even further down into self, knowing you are so safe, you are so held in so much love. You are so safe to take this journey. After all you're doing is going inward into self. You're so safe to keep taking those deepening breaths. Asking self now, where is it? Where is it within self that is the best place for you to journey to today? Perhaps you descend as deep as your diaphragm. Perhaps you descend as deep as your abdomen, your womb, your root. Making this really about you. Where in self does it best serve for you to go today? To have a conversation with soul. Looking for that soul fire, that truth fire, a light within. There's a fire here that burns within. A subtle fire, a gentle fire, a loving fire. Can you descend down, deep down into self and land in this sacred space where you can commune with this fire? This is none other than you, your fire, your soul fire, your truth fire. Coming to land fully now, right next to this soul fire. And as you land, feeling yourself land. Where is it you land? Maybe you land on dirt or grass, rock. Maybe you land gently in some tissue within you. Where is it that you land? Such a safe, loving space to land. Perhaps you envision this fire as a campfire, a fireplace. Where is it that you land? And as you land, continuing those deep breaths to keep you centered here, as you start to commune with this fire, feeling its warmth, feeling its presence, breathing with this fire, being with this fire. Maybe this fire immediately wants to speak to you, but let's invite in a slowness and a gentleness here. All will be revealed to you in due time. But right now, really giving yourself the gift of time being fully present with this fire. Maybe there's something you want to give to this fire. Maybe there's something heavy, burdensome that you've brought with you that you want to give to this fire because you know it's just not serving you to hold it. Maybe you are here to simply receive the warmth, the pure presence of this fire. And maybe, just maybe, there is something that this fire wants to share with you through words, through images, through direct knowings. There's something that this fire, your soul fire, your truth fire, wants to share with you. This has to do with your deepest truth, your deepest soul level truth, for your highest alignment, your highest path forward in this life. Maybe this is something you've been wanting to see. Maybe it's something you haven't been wanting to see. Being open to receive the truth as it is revealed to you. Deep breaths, remembering those deep, grounding breaths. As you give yourself a few more moments here to commune with this fire. Pressing that pause button if you want to hang out here longer. Knowing you are always free to return. For now, can any last thing to be given to the fire, to be received from this fire, your inner truth fire, your soul fire. Then, as you're ready, perhaps with a heart full of gratitude, we're going to start to reascend. Taking some bigger breaths now, some bigger breaths. We're going to do this slowly. Some bigger inhales, some fuller inhales, inviting you to ascend, ascending up through your body, up through your diaphragm, up through your heart. Perhaps you take a moment to rest in your heart, to let your soul fire, your truth fire from your depths commune with your heart. Awaken your heart in the way it wants to, in a way that serves. Continuing to take those big breaths when you're ready, ascending back up through your body, finding your way back up into your head, breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Finding your feet on the floor, your seat in your chair, your body in connection to the physical ground beneath you. Orienting yourself in the room you are in. Big breaths. Connecting into your whole body as you orient yourself in the room you are in. Giving yourself time to come back. Maybe you want to take some time to journal, to meditate, to walk around. Maybe you can go for a walk, hike outside, move your body. I want you to be discerning right now whether you want to listen to the rest of this episode or whether turning it off and really going inward, journaling, meditating, whatnot is right for you. Just know before you go that I do want to share some further invitations for practice, and then we'll close this episode with more words speaking to this time of year the weird, sort of out of aligned nature of it, but also the power that's here if you do want to lean into further alignment. Now, before jumping into that, I do want to offer, you can consider these journal prompts. You might consider them things to meditate on. Maybe you even take this with you into a sort of ritual. But what we're doing here, right? This is a new moon. This is the solstice. And both of these energies are energies of the seed, right? The seed being intention, potentials, new beginnings. Now, the solstice is a powerful time of year for maybe not necessarily planting seeds, creating new intentions, new beginnings, but more like leaning into the energy of the seed. The seed is planted down in the dark, right? We place the seed down in the soil. This is the darkness, right? The soil is where the light cannot touch it. Resting down in the dark is where we plant the seed. Now, what the winter solstice does is it marks the coming of more light, right? After the solstice, each day there's going to be more and more light. So just like a seed planted down in the earth, beginning to sprout, reaching towards the light, is going to receive more and more light. So what you can do now that you've had this beautiful communion with your deep inner truth, your deep inner soul fire, what you can do is really lean into this energy of the solstice. Lean in, invite in the light, call in the light. Know that more light is coming your way. Do this purely energetically. Get your head out of the way. Don't try to be planning. Don't try to be constructing and organizing what this coming of light is going to look like. But I invite you to do this purely energetically. Now, if you are called to bring your mind on board, right? If you want to do some intentional goal setting or intention setting, new moons are always a beautiful time to do this. So if you do want to lean into the new moon energy, take all this energy with you and yes, plant that seed, write out your intention, lean into that moon cycle, that solstice cycle. There are all these beautiful cycles at play right now. So yes, number one, lean into the pure energetics of it. And two, if you want to play with the new moon, plant those seeds, set those intentions. The way I like to set new moon intentions, and I learned this, who did I learn this from? I think I learned this most powerfully from Ina and Janet, these amazing teachers. You can find them easily. I know they're readily available online. Is by creating I am statements. So setting intention isn't like a goal that you're going to achieve something in the future. It's more an energetic feeling of being that which you already are calling in. Does that make sense? So an I am statement is, I am vibrant. I am receiving the flow of money. I am healthy. I am nourished. Right? These are just some examples, but whatever space you're sitting in, can you make it less about something that you're going to achieve in the future and more about that which you already are. You are already vibrating with this energy. And with more and more light coming in, you are ready to receive more and more of it. Okay, friends, last piece. I do want to share some final words to help you to better navigate this time of year. As I was speaking to earlier, the winter season, especially the holiday season, it's weird, you guys. And it's weird because humanity has become so out of touch with the natural cycles, the natural way of things. If humanity were in tune with this, just like they were for all of history before, this wild patriarchal wave took over hundreds and thousands of years ago. But if we go back hundreds, if we go back in some cases thousands of years, humanity lived in connection to nature. And as we lived in connection to nature, we let nature guide us into the practices, into the flows that best served. And if we tune in to nature this time of year, what we notice is that we are in a time of great darkness. And darkness not as a bad thing, not as an evil thing, but darkness as a pure description of what's happening, right? The days are short, the nights are long. We don't get as much sunlight, we get more darkness. And this isn't a bad thing, even though society tries to tell you so, because society has forced you into this way of being that isn't cyclical, but that demands that you for most people, do the 40-hour work week every single week, all year long. It's not natural. It's natural this time of year to slow down, to do less, so that you can spend more time inward, so that you can spend more time in those soulful connections, whether it's with family, whether it's with your partner, whether it's with friends, or whether it's with yourself, or whether it's with yourself and the trees, the rocks, nature, right? Wherever those spaces are where you can find those soulful connections, go find them. That's what this time of year is for. Now, there's this interesting other piece about this time of year. As we're moving into the holiday season, I always find this so interesting that, religions around the world have chosen this time of year for their big holidays, right? Whether you're Jewish, Christian, the list goes on from there. All these big religions around the world have chosen this time of year for these big holidays. And I always found that interesting. Like, what is it about this time of year that's so inherently powerful? And, people chose for Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa to be this time of year. And what that really led me to tune into is the energy of this time of year. That, yes, even while we rest in all this physical darkness, this time of year is actually a time of potent light. I know this may mess with your head a little bit, but tune into this. Tune into this. Feel into this. Feel into this time of physical darkness that brings so much potential to tune into the light. We can give the light a name. We can call it the divine. We can call it Christ. Whatever word resonates for you, if it resonates for you to work with the word pure light. But feeling into this, leaning into this time of year. And I invite you to do this for the rest of December. Leaning into the light, calling in the light. And maybe you do this by closing down your eyes, sitting in a dark room and going into meditation. From this space, calling in the light. What I've noticed, right, this is direct experience, is that this time of year, there's something about this time of year, and we could talk about what that might be. The solstice probably has a lot to do with it. It's this time of year where, yes, again, physically, there is far less light available to us. But by sitting in the dark, by leaning into the dark, through this doorway, can we from this space call in that light? Again, the divine light, the Christ light, whatever words resonate for you here. I invite you into this practice. Play with this. Get curious about it. Reach out and let me know how this lands for you. Alrighty, guys, we're going to start to close down. Thanks for hanging out with me in this shorter, more practice-centered episode. This is really my favorite thing to do. I just light up like nothing else when it comes to guiding practices. And I love getting to do this for you for free on occasion here on the podcast. I also love to do this on Substack, which, by the way, if you are also a reader, there is a corresponding blog post. Once again, if you want to go deeper into these practices, the Forest membership is the best way to do that at this time. Also, make sure you are subscribed to the Mountain Mystic newsletter so that you can hear about how you can go deeper into practice in 2026. Again, I'm so excited shortly to announce this whole new organized structure. It feels like a school to me, honestly. It feels like what I'm building here is a school so that we can all learn and grow together in this realm that is embodied spirituality. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast, the newsletter, and all the other spaces that resonate for you. Substack, YouTube, all the places, Instagram, Facebook, I'm all over the place. So come find me in spaces that resonate for you. All right. So much love for you guys. And I look forward to being with you next time.